What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today I have for you a convenience good. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at 4 different type of rain jacket I picked up using Amazon Prime for $24.99, $32.26, $75, and $39.99 respectively. We're going to be taking a look at 4 different brands. One from Tommy Hilfiger, which is actually our second most expensive rain jacket here, coming in at $39.99. We're going to be taking a look at a Marmo lightweight waterproof rain jacket, which was the most expensive at $75. I do have experience with Marmo products. I have worn Marmo in the past. They are a good, reputable brand. We're going to be taking a look at another brand that has become extremely popular within the last couple of years, Frogg Toggs. They are $24.99. They're fairly inexpensive, but they just seem to be loved by every outdoorsman on YouTube. And then last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at the wild card of this 4 bunch here. We're going to be taking a look at the Charles River Pullover rain jacket windbreaker I picked up for $32.26. The pullover style windbreaker rain jacket is something I've never seen before. It may not even be a rain jacket, but it was listed with the rain jackets. So we're going to take a look at it and compare the material of it with the other rain jackets here on the table, and then we're going to try everything out. I did order everything here in an extra large because I am an extra large. So we'll also get a good idea of how these rain jackets fit, and we'll go over the differences between them. And of course, when we look at each rain jacket, I'm going to talk about everything that I like and that I dislike about them. So let's go ahead and get into these rain jackets, and be sure to stick around because you're going to see me try these on and talk about how well each of these fits. Let's go ahead and get into this unboxing and first impressions. Okay, so to start off, we're going to be taking a look at the Marmo men's lightweight waterproof rain jacket for $75. This is the green lichen color. This is the most expensive rain jacket here. It is $75. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way backwards in order. I'm going to start with the most expensive here. Then we're going to take a look at the Tommy Hilfiger, which is $40. Then we're going to take at the Charles River Apparel, which is the pullover. And then we're going to finish off with the Frogg Toggs, which is $25. But one thing I actually want to point out here is this tag does say that this jacket retails for $100. I picked this up using Amazon Prime for $75. I think I've made that clear. But one thing I want to make clear before we actually take a deeper look at this jacket is what the quality of it will be like, because yes, a nice rain jacket will retail for upwards of $100. Being that this is only $75, there may be a couple of quagmires here, a couple of little strings attached, no pun intended, because there may be some issues with some stitching. I don't know, but that's why we're going to have to take a deeper look at this. When I previously had a Marmo, it was not $100. It was more in the price range of about $35 to $40, maybe just a little bit more expensive than that, and it was a phenomenal jacket. So just to be on the safe side, we are going to take a better look at this jacket and how it's constructed before we pass off judgment for it only costing $75 when in fact it retails for $100. So in the description of this rain jacket, it does say that it is lightweight, and I can actually agree with that title here. I do have another rain jacket that I wear regularly that I own. It feels just a little bit heavier than this. It is also much bigger than this, even though it's an extra large. One thing about rain jackets is they will run just a little bit bigger in size, just so that it covers a larger portion of your body and actually fulfills its purpose of being a rain jacket. But one thing I actually want to point out about this jacket is now that I have it opened up on the table, and because it is a lightweight jacket, I do get the feeling that this is going to fit me just like an extra large would fit had I ordered a t-shirt, when in fact this is a rain jacket. So that is to say, this definitely looks a little bit smaller than the extra large rain jacket I currently own and wear on a regular basis. After having worn that rain jacket for over a year now, I can say that I do like having the rain jacket actually be a couple sizes larger. So we'll see if this is comfortable or not. We'll see if this is something I can get used to. But for now, this definitely looks on the smaller side and actually looks much more lightweight. And that actually might have to do with the styling of it and how it looks on the body. Now, what's really interesting about this design here is it's actually Velcroed at the very top up by the neck and buttoned down at the bottom, and then it's actually zippered 3 times, or excuse me, Velcroed 3 times down the center line here, so that this flap pretty much stays down when it's zipped up. And what's actually really nice is you can actually have the zipper pretty much adjusted at halfway or 3/4 of the way or at 1/4 of the way, and you can actually still have this center flap folded down so that rain or water isn't dripping onto the zipper tract and causing it to corrode and rust and become really difficult to zipper up. So really nice that this rain jacket has this feature, and also really happy to see that the build quality here matches the design characteristics of it. I think it's top notch, and I think this definitely deserves to be the most expensive rain jacket here. And one thing I actually quickly want to point out is if you actually have this flap Velcroed down and you have the zipper zipped all the way down, but you're wearing the jacket and want to zip the jacket up, you do have to unvelcro this flap so you can zip up the jacket. So one thing I think is kind of interesting and what makes this jacket so characteristic and so premium looking is the fact that it's a bunch of nylon pieces stitched together. So you've actually got a panel here, you've got a panel here. These are stitched together, or rather they are separated actually by the center line of the jacket where the zipper runs. But if you actually take a look at the top left and right quarter panels up by the chest where the Marmo logo is, you can see that this top chest panel is actually stitched to this bottom sort of mid-section patch. You can tell that they are stitched together and that they are separate pieces of fabric because the pattern weaved into the fabric itself does not match between this top section and this bottom section. And same goes for the arm sleeve and the top quarter panels. And last but not least is the inside of the jacket. First thing is first, what I want to talk about is this interior. Now, when I bought my first Marmo jacket 2 years ago, the inside or the lining of the jacket was exactly the same. And I'll be quite honest with you, this sort of material here, it's almost like a sticker or it's actually a print, and it's just sort of stitched down to this sort of nylon green part of the jacket. It's actually water resistant. It's almost like a plastic. It doesn't have any holes in it. It doesn't absorb any water. Water pretty much just drips right off of this. It can also get kind of sticky if it is a little humid out. This type of material, I think as you can hear, is relatively sticky. But last but not least, because it is so sticky and because I think it is a little bit prone to moisture sort of coming up under the jacket through your arm sleeve and into your back area, you know, you're gonna perspire a little bit as well. And this is going to be a little bit humid inside. What I have noticed is after some time, this actually starts to crack and peel. So these are really ginormous pockets. You can see that I have pretty big hands and I am getting my entire hand in there. And just for perspective, we can actually just throw an iPhone in this pocket. And as you can see, this is Apple's smallest offering, but that just gives you a good idea as to how big this pocket is. And last but not least, as it pertains to styling and the features you can use to make this fit better and look better on you, is the torso ventilation feature at the side of the jacket. So what's really cool is you actually just zipper this little opening open and it allows hot, moist air inside the jacket to ventilate out. And what's really nice is I think you get it on both sides, but most importantly, I think if it's still raining out, but it is really humid and hot, and wearing the jacket is just a little bit too hot, but you still need that protection, this is a breakthrough feature. This is so important to have. You can simply just unzip the side of the jacket underneath the arm at the side of the body, which isn't going to be prone to getting wet, and air out the jacket. It is super useful and it really does work. There will come a time when this jacket is just too hot, but you still want it on. You can simply just zip open this ventilation on either the left or the right hand side and let out hot air. Okay, so that was the Marmo men's lightweight waterproof rain jacket in green lichen. We picked up at Amazon Prime for $75. But like I said at the beginning of the video, we are going to be working our way back in order from most expensive to least expensive. So next up is the Tommy Hilfiger men's waterproof breathable hooded jacket in green for $39.99. This too is an extra large. One thing I actually want to take back is the lightweight part. This is definitely heavier than the Marmo jacket. Now, one thing I want to point out, I did say about the Marmo jacket was it was on the smaller side. I do have an extra large Columbia rain jacket that I love. It too is an extra large, but that jacket feels like it's 2 sizes bigger than the extra large. So it feels and just looks bigger. But these jackets by Tommy Hilfiger and Marmo look small. Okay, so just moments ago I was saying how I thought this jacket was small. The lightweight material makes it look small. It feels thin, it looks thin. Compared to something from Ralph Lauren, I think this is a much smaller and inferior, but it's also a lightweight jacket, which is the good news here. But one thing I did say that was different about this than the Marmo was that the jacket actually felt just a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier, and I think I know why, and I think it has to do with this netting here. It's actually a nice fabric. It's a darker colored fabric. It has pinholes through it, so it is breathable. What's actually really important about this is it's not going to flake off like the plastic in the back of the Marmo is going to eventually do. This instead may rip or tear, but this I think is actually the better option. I think this gives the jacket just a little bit more of a comfortable fit and feel. This webbing won't stick to your arm if it is a little humid out or a little bit muggy out. I think this is going to be the cozier jacket. This is going to be the one you'll wear on the way into work. If you're wearing a pair of khaki pants and some dress shoes and a dress shirt, I think this actually looks just a little bit more formal and a little bit more dressy without breaking the bank. Okay guys, so back after a brief intermission, we took a look at the Marmo rain jacket. It's a lightweight, waterproof, $75 option. We also took a look at the Tommy Hilfiger waterproof, water-resistant rain jacket. It was a little bit more casual, and it was also half the price at $35. But now we're ready to take a look at our final 2 rain jackets. We're going to be taking a look at the third most expensive rain jacket. We're going to be taking a look at the Charles River Pullover in an extra large. We're going to see what the difference is between this material and the material on the Tommy Hilfiger and the Marmo. And we're also going to just basically see how this differs from a typical rain jacket. And then after this, we are going to be taking a look at the Frogg Toggs rain jacket, which has actually been pretty popular and pretty trendy as of the last 1.5 to 2 years. Let's go ahead and get into our final 2 rain jackets. Okay, so third in our unboxing and first impressions of rain jackets on Amazon Prime is the Charles River Pullover rain jacket. Now, this doesn't specifically say in the title on Amazon that this is a rain jacket, but it was listed with the rain jacket. So when I was shopping for the Marmo and I was shopping for the Tommy Hilfiger and the Frogg Toggs, this came up alongside each of those, and I bought all 4 of them because I thought this was actually going to be a wild card, and I think it is a wild card. It is a nylon water resistant type material on the front. We'll actually have to take a look at the inside of the pullover before we move on to the next item. But one thing that is different about this material is it seems to be woven with some kind of other cotton fabric, because this definitely feels a little bit fuzzy and a little bit soft when compared to the 100% nylon used on the Tommy Hilfiger and the Marmo rain jackets. So this, I think, almost is like a sweater, but it's water resistant, unlike a sweater. And like I was saying, this does sort of look like a sweater because it is a hoodie and it is a pullover, but what makes it different from a hoodie is the material. A hoodie is used more in the winter. This is more lightweight and breathable and water resistant for the rainy season during the summer. That's if you're here in Southwest Florida. But I think what also makes this different from a sweater or a soft cotton pullover, I should say, is the location of the pocket. So it's actually sort of like a kangaroo pouch where you're going to be sliding things down into it and zipping it and unzipping it from the top. And quickly, before we move on to the other features of the jacket, I just quickly want to demonstrate this front pocket here. As you can see, it's about 4.5 to 5 inches deep. It does go past the wrist of my hand, and as you can see, this pocket is about 2 hand widths wide, which is pretty amazing. Unlike your typical pocket, which can just store a cell phone or a wallet or a set of keys or maybe any combination of those items, this pocket is actually big enough for a tablet or some kind of iPad mini or iPad. Really cool and really neat that you get this large front pocket designed in such a way that you could carry such an item. So right off the bat, this jacket, even though it's an extra large, it looks relatively small at the top towards the chest. But if you actually look at the bottom half of this pullover, I would say that it's much wider. But what's also fascinating is it looks like it has pull tabs on the side here, so you could theoretically tighten the waist if you wanted to. We'll have to see if that works. So I think what makes this pullover casual like the Tommy Hilfiger and less extreme than the Marmot or the Frogg Toggs, and that's actually quite interesting about this review, is I think we've got 2 extreme options and 2 sort of casual options. The Marmot was one extreme option and the Frogg Toggs was another extreme option we have yet to look at, but I know it will be extreme. But this is casual like the Tommy Hilfiger, and you can pretty much tell because you don't get the functionality like you got on the Marmot, where you could unzip the side panel of the jacket to let airflow through. Here you get just a couple of air holes. But I think the biggest surprise about this shirt is the fact that not only do you get this really cool kangaroo pouch at the front that, like I said, is huge. You could easily store an iPad. It could enclose an iPad mini. An iPad Air could probably fit, but would stick out at the top. An iPad mini, for certain, you could have stored in this front pocket. That's how big this front pocket is. But the surprise is these 2 hand pockets on the side that actually do meet at the center and allow you to store your hands somewhere. If you're waiting in line and it's raining out, you don't have to have your hands in your pocket. You can have them protected by this 100% nylon material. So really nice that they actually incorporated a tremendously functional pocket with a zipper on the front and hand pockets. And I think that actually goes back to the point I made earlier when I said the waist of this jacket was really wide looking compared to the other 2 jackets. And that is why, because this front pocket is just so functional. Now, one thing I'm not quite sure about here is if this Charles River tag is meant to stay on the zipper pull or not, but I'm going to go ahead and say not, because it really is a cheap little piece of cloth and I really don't think it's all that attractive on this jacket or pullover. But as you can see, I did just try snipping it off, and it is going to take a little bit of work, leading me to actually come to the conclusion that you shouldn't cut this off. But I think if you're going to order this jacket, I would cut this off. I do not like it. Charles River was actually on the right path with this pullover here. It's competitively priced. It's a water-resistant material. It's easy and casual and youthful, like a hoodie, but it's designed for the rain and not the snow or cold. The only problem here I see with it that actually makes it look a little bit less premium, a little bit less attractive, a little bit older, and for an older generation, is how they executed the zippers here. And you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, how picky could you actually be? But I don't think this is consistent with either the Marmo or the Tommy Hilfiger, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be consistent with what we'll see on the Frogg Toggs either. As you might remember, the Marmo and the Tommy Hilfiger jacket both had a flap covering the zipper track and zipper pull. I would really like to have seen that here. I do not like this Charles River tab on the zipper pull of the 3/4 pull. I really would like to see the zipper hidden and a flap covering the zipper track. Previously, we looked at the Charles River Apparel pullover windbreaker jacket for $32.26. It was a very cool and interesting jacket with a couple of interesting features. Before that, we looked at the Tommy Hilfiger men's waterproof breathable hooded jacket for $39.99. And first, we looked at the Marmo men's lightweight waterproof rain jacket in green for $75. Now is our last jacket, the Frogg Toggs men's ultra light to waterproof rain jacket for $24.99. So first thing I want to start off saying is I am not sure if this jacket is disposable or not. It does look like it can be worn multiple times, but as you can see, it's not something you're going to want to look at and try on in store. You can actually see at the top of the packaging here, there is a loophole where you could effectively hang this on a clothing rack and sell them just like a pair of socks or a pair of undershirts or a pair of underwear. If you're a man, you are familiar with this method of shopping, and you know the difference between something that you're going to have to buy over and over again between something you're going to wear for a long time. And this is not something I see being worn for a long time, and that's just simply due to the packaging and how the material itself feels. So it has this sort of sheen and gloss to it that paper towel does not have. And like I was saying, if you put your nose up to this, it smells like the inside of a shoebox. So I have no doubt this is a fabric mixed with some sort of paper product. But where it differs from, say, a chamois or a paper towel is it's not porous. You can actually see the underlying dimples like if it were a paper towel, but it almost looks as if there's some sort of lacquer or coating over everything, almost like a painting, like an oil on canvas would be, with a bunch of oil paint and pigments on it that would actually sort of give it this lacquered look and in turn make it water resistant. I don't think this is much different from an oil on canvas type painting, just because it is a sort of paper-like product, but it has a form of water resistance. Okay guys, so now that we've taken a look at each rain jacket, let's go ahead and try each rain jacket on. We're going to start with the Marmo rain jacket. This rain jacket was $75. It's in this really cool bright green color. All these jackets are in an extra large, so keep that in mind. I am about 6'1", 215 pounds, so give or take a few pounds and a few inches, and you should be able to get a pretty good idea as to how these jackets will fit according to size. Let's go ahead and get these jackets tried on. Okay, so right off the bat, the Marmo jacket is an extra large, obviously, and it fits true to size. Now, I do have a Columbia jacket. It's in a bright blue color. You've seen it on this channel before. I made a video review about it over a year ago. It's been absolutely fantastic, but one of my initial complaints is that it is just a little bit too big. It feels like it's an extra large. It feels like it's just a size up, or maybe even a size and a half or 2 sizes up, depending on how I'm feeling that day. But one thing that actually makes this Marmo jacket just a little bit better fitting than the Columbia jacket is that it does fit true to size. Now, at the beginning of the video, I was saying how I like an oversized rain jacket, but now that I have the Marmo on, and in this really cool bright green colorway, I do prefer to have this just a little bit more form-fitting and not so stand out or standoffish. I think if this were a pretty much bulky, bright green jacket, it wouldn't look all that attractive or appealing. I definitely think something like this looks a little bit better slim fit, right? So as you can see, we've got it all the way unzipped. Let's go ahead and zip it up. I would say that's about halfway there. You can see that the lapel actually fans out really nicely. It gives this jacket some character, but this is actually how I typically wear my rain jackets on a rainy, windy, blustery day. I do like to zip the jacket all the way up. What's really nice actually about the Marmo is on the inside of the collar is just a little fuzzy piece of cotton here, so when you do have it zipped up all the way to your neck, it isn't abrasive or bothersome in any way. It doesn't itch, doesn't scratch. It's really comfortable and soft. You hardly notice it's even there, and it actually does provide an extra sense of warmth when you're just walking in the stores and stuff. It's really nice and luxurious. But as you can see, with the jacket all the way zipped up, you can get a good idea as to how snug this jacket really does fit. Here is a pretty good side profile. You can pretty much see that the sleeves go all the way down past my wrist, and actually if I extend my wrist out, you can see that this arm sleeve does not pull back at all, just very little. So you can see that these sleeves are a nice long length, which is good, which is what you want. And last but not least is the rear of the jacket. Let's go ahead and put the hood up here. As you can see, it's nice and form-fitting. Don't have any problems with the fit. And what I actually really like about the fit of this jacket is how long the tail of it is. As you can see, the t-shirt that I'm wearing underneath is actually longer than the jacket itself. So as you can see, I absolutely just adore this Marmo rain jacket. It's extremely comfortable. I'm actually having a hard time taking it off. It is an extra large. It is more form-fitting than my Columbia jacket, which I really do appreciate. It gives it a more athletic, more youthful look. I think it gives it a more sporty look. So that was the men's Marmo green lichen extra large waterproof breathable jacket I picked up using Amazon Prime for $75. Now that we've taken a look at our most expensive option, let's go ahead and take a look at our second most expensive option. This is the Tommy Hilfiger. It's just a regular water resistant jacket. It's 100% nylon on the outside, exactly like the Marmo. But one thing that's different about this shade of green compared to the Marmo is this is just a little bit more preppy. It's a little bit more dressy. This jacket right here, it doesn't have a specific name or style. It's just a generic rain jacket by Tommy Hilfiger. The good news is that it's inexpensive and it does offer a different sense of occasion and look than the Marmo jacket. So I think the Marmo jacket, as you saw, was a bright, rich, neon sort of green. This is a much more subdued, darker, richer, more collegiate type color, more Ivy League color. This is definitely a little preppier than the Marmo jacket. This, I would think, you should be able to wear with a pair of khaki pants and a dress shirt underneath and some dress shoes and a belt on your way into work on a rainy morning. It's a little bit heavy, it's a little bit warm. Now I know at the beginning of the video my initial complaint was this jacket simply was too thin. It didn't look all that impressive when compared to the Marmo, or even compared to something by Ralph Lauren. I know those are competing brands, this company and Ralph Lauren, but this jacket is just a little bit too heavy, and it's mainly to do with the material and the fact that it's a netting on the inside. So if you're out running errands on the weekend, this jacket is going to be just a little bit too warm, it's going to be a little bit too heavy, and it's not going to be something you're going to be running around in. It's just going to be too hot. Another thing I quickly want to mention about this jacket is it definitely feels a little bit on the small side. I feel like it's just a little bit too tight up in the chest and around the shoulders. I think you can see that the jacket is becoming a little bit disfigured and my arms are bulging out a little bit too much when I raise them. And I think you can also notice here that the cuff of the jacket is much further back on my arm than it was with the Marmo jacket. The Marmo jacket was at least covering my wrist. Okay, so that was the Tommy Hilfiger jacket for $39.99. It definitely felt a little bit cramped, but for $39.99, I think it's a good jacket. Just order yours a size up. But now we're going to take a look at the wild card of the 4 jackets I purchased. This is the Charles River Extra Large Pullover. First impressions are a little bit disappointing. This feels on the cheaper side. It is cheaper than the Tommy Hilfiger, which was only $40 to begin with, and it's only slightly more expensive than the Frogg Toggs, which is $25 and disposable. Yep, this is not the best quality jacket, but what is good about it is it fits fairly well. Because it is a pullover, there really isn't much that you have to change about the design of this jacket so that it fits true to size. You could pretty much, I think, take the measurements for an extra large hoodie and apply them to this jacket, but just change the material and not have a problem. Then again, I don't make clothing, but I don't see something like this as being all that complicated to produce and get the sizes right. So this actually fits pretty well. I'm happy with it, but it definitely feels a little bit thin and lightweight and chintzy. I think you can pretty much tell this is sort of a lightweight, cheap pullover. First and foremost, because the sleeves of the jacket leave a little bit left to be desired. They don't go all the way down past my wrist. Needless to say, this is the type of rain jacket you can wear all day that doesn't look like you're wearing a rain jacket, but that also serves the purpose of a rain jacket. I think this is a win-win, and it's sold at an affordable price as well. So what's really cool about this Charles River pullover and what makes it highly functional is this kangaroo front pocket. It is a pretty decent size. I would say it's about a hand wide, and I have pretty big hands. I'm a 26-year-old male, so I'm fully grown. I don't have baby hands. As you can see, this is an iPhone, and look how much room we have on the opposite side to put things in. So even though it is wildly functional and really cool, it's something I've never seen before, I do have one concern. As you see, I have 3 items in this pocket. I have a pair of AirPods, a wallet, and a cell phone. But one thing I've noticed is it's just a little bit too uncomfortable. The sagging in the front is something I'm not quite used to yet. Just like I was imagining, even though it's nice having a wide, deep pocket, the downside to that is when you put things in, they tend to sort of collect at the bottom of the pocket and add unnecessary weight, making this just a little bit annoying. So I would probably maybe keep just a couple of things in here, a couple of lightweight things, and that's it. And like I was mentioning earlier in the video, as you can see, the waist of this jacket is extremely wide when compared to the Tommy Hilfiger and the Marmo. But what's really nice is it actually has a drawstring at the side, so you can actually make the waist scrunch down, maybe if this is blowing around too much in the wind. But what I've noticed is it does seem to fall back into its regular way fairly easily. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the Marmo, the Tommy Hilfiger, and the Charles River rain jackets, it's finally time to conclude this video with our least expensive option, the $25 jacket from Frogg Toggs. Now, I think the question yesterday before we ended the video was, is this something you're going to wear season after season, or is this something you're going to pretty much throw away? And I think it's somewhere in between. I think this is a premium option over a regular $5 Parker you might find at a 7-Eleven or a gas station or a Walgreens. If you're going on a one-day hunting and fishing trip and you need a rain jacket, one that's camouflaged like this, as you can see, it's a nice gray, sort of khaki tan color. It would pretty much blend in with some bushes or some trees or some mud even. I think you're gonna want to pay the $25 premium and get the added versatility and functionality you get with this Frogg Toggs jacket compared to something a little bit less expensive, and then throw it away maybe after the trip itself or the next week. However long you're taking the trip, it could be a week, it could be a month. Having something like this just folded up, you know, in your suitcase or your backpack, you know, packaged up and ready to be used is extremely useful and will definitely come in handy. Now, one thing that is fascinating about this Frogg Toggs jacket is it doesn't have pockets on the side. This is strictly water protection. And like I was saying earlier, this is not something you're going to want to wear out with a pair of jeans and a pair of boots on a rainy night. This is something you're going to want to wear just once or twice on a hunting or fishing trip. Yeah, you don't even have pockets on the side. This is completely utilitarian. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing and first impressions of some really good options using Amazon Prime. Today we took a look at the Marmo rain jacket for $75, the Tommy Hilfiger rain jacket for $40, the Charles River Pullover rain jacket for $32, and the Frogg Toggs disposable rain jacket for $25. All of these jackets were an extra large. The Charles River and the Tommy Hilfiger jackets, I did recommend going up a size. I would also maybe even recommend going up a size with the Marmo jacket, but as it concerns the Frogg Toggs jacket, that is going to be something you'll order or buy true to size. The Marmo jacket, I think, felt true to size, but maybe just a little bit too small and form-fitting. Then again, that could have been the style. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing and first impressions. I really hope you got some useful information out of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Also, hit the bell notification to get notified when I post videos to YouTube. Share this video with friends and family. Tell them we review items from Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and other stores, including Amazon and other online stores. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Thank you so much for your support. We are about to pass 2,000 subscribers. Also, check out our merchandise store for some inspiring clothing. My name is John. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.